Shame. 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 Shame.
Nasty work. Nasty work. Listen, man. Yo, what's good, man? How y'all doing, man? It's your boy Persona Game, Persona, one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. And welcome to an episode of When Persona Speaks. Impromptu. You feel me? You know, I had a little fire lit up under me today. So I said, you know what, let's do a show, man. But how y'all doing today, man? Hope y'all are happy, healthy, and safe. Listen, if you're at work, hopefully I could get you through your work day. If you're on your way home from work or school, hopefully I could get you through your commute home. You might be at home cooking dinner, doing homework with the kids. Or how I go? Yo, listen, I don't do these as much anymore. I forgot. I'm butchering my own intro. Lord have mercy. Hold on. All right, let's start over. I don't do the show as much as I'm really forgetting how I do my intro. Bear with me, chat. I appreciate y'all. Listen, if you're at work, hopefully I can get you through your work day. If you're on your way home from work or school, hopefully I can get you through your commute home. Listen, you might be at home cooking dinner, doing homework with the kids. I can't. I'm butchering my own intro. What is going on? Yo. Oh my God. I lost the touch, guys. I lost my touch. I don't got the Midas touch no more. Hold up. All right, man. Listen. Third time's the charm, right? Okay. Woosah. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Guys, I'm rusty. Listen, if you're at work, hopefully I can get you through your work session. If you on your way home from work or school, hopefully I can get you through your commute home. Listen, you might be at home cooking dinner, doing homework with the kids. Hopefully I can get you through your session. Listen, you might be taking a shower. I don't know. Cleanliness is closer to godliness. Listen, you might be having a marital with a significant other. I don't know. I just appreciate you putting me on. You feel me? All right, there we go. I got it, guys. I got it. I'm rusty, man. I'm rusty as hell, man. I'm rusty. But yo, listen, put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling great. Put a 2 in the chat if you're feeling just okay. And put a 3 in the chat if you're not feeling that great at all. But listen, if you are at a 3, I want to get you to at least a 2 by the end of the show. At least a 2 by the end of the show. So let me know. Show it up in the chat. Throw the numbers in the chat. Let me know how y'all feeling today, man. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's good, man. Oh, I'm seeing the ones. I love the ones. I love seeing the ones. One. Yeah, I'm feeling good too, man. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling real good today. Dave Rock, what up? Shout out to everybody here, man. Yo, Michael Meridian, what's good, man? Schoolhouse Rocks, Daryl in the building. Outside Game Night in the building. Lord Hog in the building. Macho, Killer Cam for show. Kratos 99. Who that? Seawolf Swim. What's going on with you? True G BB in the building. Stardust Zero in the building. Franco Tech in the building. Dark Zone in the building. What's going on with you? Muko. And it's gross how quick Microsoft pulled the trigger on price increases after Nintendo. $1 trillion company needs more money. And listen, we're going to talk, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk. Trust me. Muko, we're going to talk. I promise. Amun Ra 3K in the building. What's going on with you? Wild Wolf in the building. How you doing today, Wild Wolf? Damien! Shout out to my bro, Damien. Damien, I always appreciate you, man. Always appreciate you, bro. Killer Cam for show in the building. Caution in the building. Caution. Caution is here, so you guys better caution. Caution yourself, because caution is here. Caution. Shout out to Caution. What's going on with you, man? Big Hardcore Gamer in the building. What's going on with you, Big Hardcore Gamer? I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody here, man. Yo, Bari in the building. Shout out to my bro, Bari. The other half of What's Up PlayStation podcast in the building. Big shout out to my bro, Bari, man. Appreciate you always, man. Cobb Sanity in the building. Kelvin Smith. Shout out to my boy, Kelvin Smith in the building. Appreciate everybody else that's here, man. Listen, round of applause for the folks in the chats. You know what? Another round of applause for the folks in the chat. Yes. Is WUPS ending at 200? Yes, it is. For those who don't know, but I think everybody knows, What's Up PlayStation Podcast will be ending at episode 200. We've only got 8 episodes left. Oh my. So yes, WUPS is ending. Another round of applause for the folks in the chat. Feeling good. I'm feeling good, man. Listen, I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. You understand?
I'm a PlayStation fan too.
I'm a PlayStation fan too. You understand? And I need these companies to
respect my time. I got a wife and kids.
I need y'all to respect my time, man. Minus the wife and kids. Not yet. You understand? But I need y'all to respect my time.
Respect my time. I got a wife and kids.
I need these companies to respect my time, man. Because this shit is crazy. What is going on? You understand? Big Daddy, what's going on with you? Shout out to my boy Big Daddy in the building. Ice Queen Gaming in the building. Hey, Persona, I will miss WUPS when it goes. I'll miss WUPS when it goes too. But we all need to go on to greener pastures. Ice Queen, you know? Nothing lasts forever, unfortunately. And we all get to ride off into the sunset. What song will play when we ride off? When WUPS rides off into the sunset. What's a good song to play when WUPS rides off into the sunset? You know what? I have the perfect song. I got the perfect song. This is the song that I think WUPS should play when we do our final episode and we ride off into the sunset, ladies and gentlemen. I think I know the song. I'm about to play it. Give me a second. Hold on. I'm about to play. And I think y'all know what I'm about to play. It's going to be a bittersweet song. If I can find the goddamn song. Where are you at? Where is it? It's something clouds. I always forget the name of it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Right here. This is the song that will play. I think it's fitting. WUPS community, we love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that supported WUPS for 200 episodes. But it's time to go on to greener pastures. I know it's bittersweet. I know you don't want it to end. But all good things must come to an end. I know. It hurts. It breaks my heart. But it must end. Bari's old. I'm getting old. And it's just not fun anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you understand. It was a fun ride. We had laughs. We had fights. We had debates. But you tuned in every week to watch us at 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And we appreciate you! We appreciate you, WUPS community. But all good things must come to an end. That's the song that we'll play. But yo, listen, man. Definitely appreciate everybody coming through, man. Rocking out. I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Shout out to y'all. Who else is here? The Creed. Will you still cover games, Persona? No. Maybe, from time to time. I may cover, do like a stream or put my thoughts out there on something or do like an impromptu show like this or something like that from time to time. But yeah, in terms of WUPS, that's definitely ending. Who else is here? Nerdy Gaming, what up? What's going on with you, man? Appreciate you. Typhoon, what's good, man? Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Henry Heck in the building. Hi, Miss Henry. Shout out to Henry in the building. Appreciate you, Henry. Shout out to Lil Mama and the family. C Fresh in the building. What's going on with you, C Fresh? I know a lot of y'all probably just getting off work. So hopefully I can, if y'all listening while you driving or catching public transportation or whatever, I could get you through your commute home. Or if you doing homework or studying, you listen while you study or do your homework or whatever. You feel me? We vibing out because it is 5 o'clock and it's quitting time for a lot of people around this time. So I understand if everybody can't tune in right this moment. But, if you tune in later, I definitely appreciate that. Real talk. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody, like I said. And, this is an impromptu show. I seen the news. And listen, whenever I see crazy news, one person I always hit up is Barry. I call him right away. I seen the news. I said, Barry. Yeah. I said, Barry, brother. Big bro. He said, Persona, what's up? I said, brother. You see this shit? What the hell going on here? He said, huh? What you mean? I'm like, the price increase. What's going on? Is this legit? Barry said, it's Wario. It's legit. I said, huh? What? This can't be life. This can't be real. Can it, Barry? Can this be real? And Barry, with the lisp, he said, listen here, brother. With the Jamaican accent. I can't do the accent, guys. I know. I'm working on it. It's real. And I say, Lord of mercy. No. It can't be. But it is. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it, man. Because it is definitely crazy. What's going on? And obviously, listen, we crack jokes and all that stuff and do all that stuff like we always do. Like, cracking the jokes and all that. I don't see an issue with that. Level-headed, what's good, man? You guys aren't old. You guys just failed at creating a good podcast worth watching. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. If you tuned into the podcast, then we definitely didn't fail because you tuned in. If you watched even one episode of our show, then was it really a failure? Got you to tune in. So, I mean, listen, bro, is that supposed to... Yo, where you guys come from? That shit's funny to me. Level, and you supposed to be level-headed? How the fuck you level-headed saying some stupid shit like that? That's the incel. See, that's that incel behavior I be talking about, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, learn from level-headed. Don't be an incel like level-headed. Only incels talk, move, and act like that in YouTube chats that of people they don't like. He's hate watching right now. That's what incels do. Incels hate watch content for whatever reason, to elicit a reaction for clips for their incel grifter content creators or whatever they do. I don't know. This is probably going to get clipped right now. Anyway, don't be an incel like that level-headed guy and change your name. You're not level-headed. You're an idiot. You should change your name to incel because that's what you are. Anyway, let's move on. So listen, man, it's a lot of craziness going on when it comes to gaming. And obviously there's a political side to this. I don't talk politics, especially online. Like, there's a very small select group of people that I talk politics with, and I do not talk politics online. But obviously, with the landscape of what's going on within the political world of the tariffs between America and China and all these other different places, and just a lot of that stuff that's going on. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is playing a big part in the price increases, right? Obviously, that's the disclaimer with that, right? Let's get that out the way. We know why a lot of this is happening to a certain degree when it comes to, again, tariffs and just all that craziness that's happening. So, we got that out the way. We know what's going on. What did Barry say? We did fail level-headed, but still fuck you. Barry's funny. I mean, I am old. I'm getting old, and Barry is old. That is true. Like that isn't a lie. That's crazy. Bender of Strings. What up? I'm literally on a PS5 Pro as we speak. Yeah, order that PS5 Pro, man. Definitely order that. Yo, bro, man, from the fifth flow. Somebody watches Martin. None. Just eating a sandwich. Yo, bro, man, for the fifth flow. I love that name, bro. He says, man, Microsoft not trying to sell consoles anymore. They didn't even have holiday sales last year. Sony did, and they still have hardware sales now. Oh, yeah. Bro, man, from the fifth flow. Shout out to bro, man from the fifth flow. Appreciate you. For real, like, why are they here? Muko, I don't know, man. I don't know. This shit's crazy. It's okay. Don't time out the level-headed guy, you know, because, you know, unless he get too crazy, then, you know, the mods, listen, level-headed, as long as you ain't too crazy in the chat, the mods ain't going to time you out. You know, you cool, you good, you understand? You know, we'll let you chill for a little bit, you know, but don't get too crazy in the chat, because the mods don't play that, bro. Listen, one thing about the mods on the channel, the mods, they'll let you rock. You feel me? They'll be like, oh, Persona, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You know, they'll let you say some crazy shit, but you start getting a little too crazy. The mods gonna get you. I ain't gonna get you. The mods gonna get you, bro. They gonna get you up out of here. I'm just letting you know, right? The mods is looking, they watch you like a hawk. So you can tread lightly. But, you know, ain't nobody gonna time you out. You fine. As long as you know, you want to say, oh, what sucks, what failed, I suck, I look this, that, whatever. Ain't nobody gonna time you out, man. But you start getting a little too crazy, they gonna time your ass out. But all right, let's get into it, man. So let's look at the article. You know, I want to look at the pricing, then we'll break everything down, and I'll give my thoughts and give my opinions on you know, just what's going on. You feel me? All right. Here we go. Oh, let me get the music going. You know, has some background music. Set the ambiance. Yo, Truth Serum, what's good? Xbox dudes are insufferable. Yo, Wolfgang Mishima, what's going on with you, bro? Appreciate you. Mali, what's up, chat and Persona? Nasty work going on in the gaming community. Yo, Mali, listen. Oh, Mal, listen. Mal, it's crazy out here, man. Well, I don't know if you I don't want to misgender, so it's crazy out here. You feel me? Who else is it? Yo, Slim, are you going to try out Arc Raiders? No, I didn't get into the beta, and honestly, I don't really. I'm good on extraction shooters, man. That's just not my vibe. I'm good on extraction shooters. It ain't my vibe. It ain't really something I'm really trying to rock with. I'm good, man. All that bullshit, they can keep all that. Arc Raiders, Marathon. What's that other one that's coming out? Isn't Fair Games also an extraction shooter, or is that a heist game? That might be Heist or whatever. But ain't that the same shit? Okay, like along the lines of the same concept. Listen, all that extraction shooter shit, I'm good, man. Like y'all, that's y'all lane. I'm good. I don't care about that. Yo, Tricelsius, man, I appreciate you for the super chat. Brother, help me get through the news. Is this what we would call the Xbox tariff? Lord Jesus. Listen, Tricelsius. We gonna talk. But let's get through this article, man. Let's get through the article, and then we'll talk about it. So, IGN dropped the news earlier today. 9/11. Yo, I don't know if it's because I'm a New Yorker, and for other people that might be New Yorkers in the chat, right? Yo, Phillipson, what's going on with you, bro? Shout out to you. And maybe it's me. I don't know. I see 9/11, and obviously, for those who don't know, 9/11 is obviously the tragedies that happened out here in New York back in 2001. When the World Trade Center, you know, came crashing down, and a lot of people lost their lives, and you know, the terrorist attacks and all that stuff that happened, right? But ever since then, and this has been happening to me since I was a kid, ever since that day, I see 9/11 a lot in my life. Like I like sometimes, a lot of times when I look at the clock, it's 9/11. I'll see something that's like 9/11. I'll see this that's 9/11, 9/11. It's crazy, yo. And that shit has been happening to me for years. Since, I want to say, really since it happened, I would see 9/11 a lot, just randomly. Like I'll just see those combination of numbers just everywhere I go. I would see it all the time. And it's crazy. We're looking at the article, and this shit was posted at 9/11 in the goddamn morning. This shit is crazy. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's a New York thing. And so, like, obviously, like, other people might not, like, you know, see that, but like, I see that shit a lot. Like, I see 9/11 a lot, like, throughout the years. Like, just looking at the clock. If I randomly look at the clock, 9/11. I look, you know, I'm out and I see some numbers, 9/11, like, just 9/11, 9/11. Shit is crazy. Anyway, let's get into the article. I see you see 444 a lot? Okay. So then y'all know what I'm talking about then. Yo, Harlem, what's good, man? Like, y'all just see like a random sequence of numbers all the time. All right, so I'm not the only one that I'm not the only one that sees that, you know, has that happen to them. Okay, cool. Her name Rebecca Valentine. That's a dope name. I like that. Anyway, all right, so let's get into the article. IGN. Microsoft is raising prices on Xbox by a lot. In the announcement today, the company said it will be raising prices on the Xbox console, controllers, headsets, and some games. The price hike for consoles and accessories kicks in today, May 1st. They ain't even giving nobody no time. You can't, yo, you know what's so nasty about this, bruh? Yo, May 1st, rent is due. A lot of bills come due. You feel me? You can't give people to the 15th at least. Like, yo, it's gonna go into effect in the middle of the month. Let people allocate the funds. People just paid rent. Microsoft. People just paid rent, just paid the light bill, the phone bill. You feel me? Guy, on the first? On the goddamn first? After, when we know bills is due? Crazy. Come on now, Microsoft. That is not pro-consumer of you. The audacity. Lord Jesus, man. I just paid my bills. Anyway, May 1st, and while game prices will stay the same for now, we should expect to see Xbox charging $79.99. $79.99. I sound Australian when I do that. $79.99 for new first-party games around the holiday. Let's stop right there. We're gonna get to the price instruction. I need to stop at the $70 game. Can we zoom in on that, please? I need to zoom in on that. We need to zoom in on that real quick. I want to zoom in on that $79.99. $79.99. Now here's the question. Here's the question I got for the chat. Here's the question I got for the people that's listening. Who's at fault here? Right? Because technically, Nintendo introduced this. Oh, I know. Nintendo has a soft spot in my heart. I love Nintendo just as much as anybody else. I love Nintendo. Nintendo will always have a soft spot right here in my heart. In my heart. You understand? I love Nintendo. But that Mario Kart World bullshit, $80. Listen now. Where the people? Because listen, I got good memory. Back at the start of this generation, when it wasn't PlayStation that was doing the $70 games or introduced that, it was 2K and it was Call of Duty. They were trying to blame PlayStation. Well, PlayStation didn't have to follow suit. Remember, that was the talking point. Listen, I'm only bringing this up as a comparison. It's wrong across the board, or like, you know, whatever. Like, people can feel how they feel. I'm just bringing it up for the sake of the conversation. Like, don't kill the messenger. Even though you don't like the messenger, don't kill the messenger, okay? They were blaming, they said, well, PlayStation didn't, first of all, they were blaming PlayStation for $70 games, which was not true. Even though PlayStation was doing $70 for their games, they did not introduce that. They weren't the first to do it. But the argument then shifted to, well, PlayStation didn't have to follow suit. It's how the cookie crumbles. Right? That was at the start of this generation. Fast forward to now, who is to blame for $79.99 games? I'm just asking questions. I'm not assuming. I'm asking questions. Chat, help me out here. Chat, keep me honest. Who is to blame for $79.99 games? Who introduced that? Chat, help me out here. Help me out. Keep me honest, chat, because the chat gonna keep me honest. They gonna be like, Persona, nah, you off base here. That's one thing about my community and the people that rock with me. They gonna keep me honest. If Persona, if I'm off base, they gonna be like, Persona, you off base here, bro. Nah, you off base. You need to knock it off. So I need to chat. Chat, I'm asking questions because I need answers. Yo, BK, what up, man? Team Ambush, what's up? Who introduced $70 games? I mean, $79.99 or $80 games. Who introduced that? Now that we know who introduced it, the next question is, let's go back to what the argument was at the start of this generation. Microsoft didn't have to follow suit, but they did. And listen, PlayStation's not, yo, Prince Philip, what up? PlayStation's not absolved of anything here, because really, and I said this earlier on in a tweet, PlayStation gonna follow suit here. You feel me? Like, all this that's happening, PlayStation's just last to do it, but trust me, PlayStation's gonna do this as well. Trust me, this ain't nothing new. PlayStation's gonna be doing it too. It's just a matter of when, not if, when. But it is gonna happen with PlayStation as well. When that happens, who knows? Will it be this year, next year? Who knows? But that price increase is definitely coming from PlayStation 2, I think, at least, right? But let's continue reading. Price increases are taking effect globally, with the exception of headset prices, which are only going up in the US and Canada. Huh? Well, listen, I don't play multiplayer games no more anyway, so I don't who need a headset these days? Y'all don't communicate in multiplayer games anyway. Y'all playing domination, and you ain't even calling out that B is being captured. You know, y'all don't communicate in multiplayer games anyway, so who really needs headsets these days? You can't talk in party chats or talk in a game chat anyway. Everybody playing multiplayer games, objective-based multiplayer games, and ain't talking. Crazy. But let's get into the price increase, because this is where things get like crazy, where I'm just like, yo, and this is where I'm gonna be critical. And, you know, full disclaimer, I'm definitely gonna crack some jokes, but I'm definitely gonna be very critical in terms of comparisons between the PlayStation and the Xbox right now, because this is crazy. This is some crazy shit that we talking about here. Knock it off, man. So the Xbox Series S, 512 terabyte is going up from $299.99 to $379.99. No. That's crazy. No. We can't do that. And then Xbox Series S 1 terabyte is going up from $349.99 to $429.99, which is now you're getting into PS5 territory. And as it stands right now, as of the recording or of the live streaming of this show, PS5, the digital is $450, and the S is nowhere near as powerful as a PS5. And so when you're a customer looking in the store, and you're looking at a Series S 1 terabyte versus a PS5 digital, that's just $30 more, $20 more. Crazy. That's a no-brainer. What are we talking about here? Let me. You know what? Let's make this fun. I'm gonna make this fun, more fun than what it is right now. Are y'all having fun? Put a 1 in the chat if you having fun in the stream right now. If you're enjoying it so far. I know we just started, so put a 1 in the chat. Let me know. All right. Let me go to PlayStation. Oh, y'all being nice. Y'all ain't having no fun. Y'all just being nice. That's all. No, I'm joking. I appreciate y'all. Let's do something just for comparison's sake. You understand? You know, we just gonna compare. You know, just out of curiosity. What's this asterisk for this for? PS5 console. Okay, that's a son. Oh no, this is physical. Where's the edition? Series S, $429.99. $20 more, you getting a stronger console. That's crazy. Now again, PlayStation's not absolved of none of this, because this price could definitely look like $550 in like a week, right? And then everybody gonna be clipping up this stream like, Persona, what happened? I mean, are you gonna live stream this? Are you gonna talk about that? So obviously, you know, this can change. Let's put the disclaimer out there that this can change. Hey, yo, Bari, he definitely been with the shits. Yes, sir. My fault. Like, so, you know, let's put the disclaimer out there, right? And make it, the disclaimer out here is obviously the price that we're seeing right now with the PS5, PS5 Pro, or whatever, that can change in a matter of days, in a matter of a week, right? And all of this is could be a moot point, right? Again, PlayStation is not absolved of any of this at all. I think they'll definitely follow suit at some point. But as it stands present today, if you're somebody walking into a store and you're looking at the lineup and you're looking at the price, because Xbox games are going to PlayStation as well now, right? Microsoft is third party, or Xbox games are third party at this point. It's a no-brainer where you would want to go, given also the price increase. It's all about optics. It's about the optics. As it stands right now. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it throughout the course of this show. PlayStation is not absolved of any of this, and they can definitely, their prices can and most likely will change relatively soon. It can happen. I'm gonna keep saying that throughout this entire show because I know how people are. Xbox Series X digital, $549.99, up from $449.99. Going back. It's a no-brainer. You feel me? The optics, crazy. Xbox Series X, physical, up from $499.99 to $599.99, $600. We about to go back to doing Spanish. Yo, Siri, how do you say 600 in Spanish?
In Spanish, 600 is 600.
Hold on, huh? Say it again.
600.
600.
600.
$600. $600. $600. 600. 600. 600. $600. For $100 more. And again, we got to go by the optics. For $100 more, you get a much stronger console with the best lineup in gaming, in terms of games, because you're getting the PlayStation games and the Xbox games. That's the optics of that just doesn't look good from a consumer perspective as of right now. That's crazy. That's 600. 600. Lord Jesus. And then the Xbox Series X 2TB Galaxy Special Edition, $729.99, up from $599.99. How you say 729 in Spanish? Hold up. How do you say 729 in Spanish?
729.
Wait, what? Sete what? Yo, listen, I'm learning Spanish, guys. For the mira, you know, gotta pull up, you know, talking in their language.
729.
700. Huh? 700. Hold on, what? How you say that in Spanish again? How do you say 729 in Spanish?
In Spanish, 729 is 729.
729. Yo, shout out to Lord Hog, aka Jesus. I know that's Jesus. Shout out to Lord Hog. Yo, the Spanish people. Yo, shout out to the Spanish people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. To the Hispanics out there that rock out with your boy. You understand? Keep me honest. To my Hispanic folks that rock out with me. You know, I'm gonna be asking y'all in the chat, you know, help me out with some of these words. Shout out to my boy Lord Hog. 729. Crazy. Nasty work. Or as how I say it in Spanish? Trabajo. No, it's trabaja sucio. Trabaja sucio. Trabaja sucio. Nasty work. Persona trying to pull some Latinas. I see you. Absolutely. Yo, Roxas, what's good? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love my miras, man. I love my miras, man. The Latinas. You know, ain't nothing wrong with a, you know, fine little thick Latina. Oh, dirty work. Trabaja. Yo, dirty work, nasty work. Listen, it's all the same shit. And then the Xbox controller, no price increase. Xbox Wireless controller color, no price increase. The special edition, no price increase. But then the limited edition gets a $10 upgrade from $79.99 to $89.99. Crazy. And then the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2 Core gets a $10 increase from $139.99 to $149.99. The Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 Full is up from $179.99 to $199.99. So a $20 increase. Headset, no increase. And then the wireless headset is up $10, so from $109.99 to $119.99. Absolutely crazy, you know. Absolutely crazy. It's crazy how you know, the prices and again, a lot of this is attributed to tariffs and, you know, all the craziness going on in the country and you know, with what our government is doing and all that stuff. I don't really want to get into the weeds of just, you know, why this is happening, you know, the political side of all it. I don't want to go too crazy into that because I know how those conversations can kind of devolve into just some crazy shit. So, you know, we're not going to go that far deep into it. Pause. But then they say Microsoft issued IGN with the following statement as to why the prices are increasing, why the price increases were taking place. And they say, we understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across the screen and ensuring value for the Xbox players. Why on the first though? You know, I'm kind of hung up on that. Everybody paying bills today. You understand? Yo, put one in the chat if you pay some type of bill today. You know, your rent, your mortgage, your insurance, phone bill. Like the first is typically when bills is due. So a lot of people paying their bills today. You understand? Microsoft, you couldn't wait till the 15th? You couldn't wait till the 15th? Yo, hi Kizina, what up? You couldn't wait till the 15th, Microsoft? Huh? Middle of the month? Let people pay their bills and all that and get things out the way and then announce this? Come on now, Microsoft. Think about the working class. Think about the people. Yo, Kyle, what's up? PS Rewind, what up? Gamer since 88, what up? Crazy. But on a serious note, the price increase, again, from the hardware perspective is kind of crazy. The thing is, I feel like this price increase is definitely going to kind of make the Xbox even more of an undesirable console, because now when you're comparing it to a PlayStation or comparing it even to a Switch, it's like I'm already getting a lot of those games that's coming to Xbox on PlayStation. Now the selling factor is obviously Game Pass. Game Pass is something where people are, oh, well, you know, you're paying a subsidized price to play these games or whatever, you know. But for a lot of people, they'll look at that and just be like, it's still not worth it, because, you know, even if I'm on here, I'm still missing out on games that's also releasing from the competitor's platform. So, you know, Soros, Ghost of Yotei, the God of Wars, and all that other shit that releases on PlayStation as well. So for me, from where I sit, I personally think this happening is going to hurt the Xbox console even more significantly. And honestly, I think this actually might, I don't want to say, I don't think it'll, you know, kill Xbox per se. And then honestly, I wouldn't want that. But I do think you're definitely, it's to some capacity, you might see Xbox sales dip even or decline even more, given when you look at what the competition is doing. And if PlayStation is smart, especially going into this holiday, especially going into the holiday season, especially looking at you know, potentially GTA 6 releasing this holiday or releasing this fall or releasing this year or whatever, and some of the other deals that PlayStation has as well, on top of a lot of the games that's expected to come to the PlayStation from Xbox publishing as well. PlayStation, if I was PlayStation, I would at least ride the wave out the rest of this year. And me and Barry, shout out to Barry, because Barry's the one that actually brought this up, reminded me of this, because we did talk about this on What's a PlayStation podcast, one episode. I don't remember what episode, but me and Barry was talking about this earlier, where we did talk about how PlayStation was sending ample amounts of surplus stock to a lot of stores and all around the world so that they can have a surplus to kind of be able to ride out the wave of the potential tariffs and all these other things, or shipping, increase the shipping costs and all these other things that's happening. PlayStation was doing that. So in this regard, PlayStation was definitely ahead of the curve when it comes to looking at what's going on from a political standpoint and how that can affect the business. So if that's something that's still relevant now, then, I would say PlayStation is probably is most likely positioned to at least ride the wave out the rest of this year, potentially. The other side of it is, if GTA 6 does come out, because now we're getting into the $80 games territory, right? So we already know that Ghost of Yote is $70, right, base. And when I'm talking about prices, and because I hate this whenever we have this conversation, and this is why it's hard for me to have conversations with your Cyber Dragon. What's good, man? This is why it's hard for me to have conversations with people online in this day and age, especially gaming conversations on social media, because oftentimes a lot of people they like to bring up, well, this was done in the past, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. Like, no, when things change, you want things to change, right? Like, if things just stay the same, then it's like, why are you even talking about it then? Like, you're fine with what's already here, so your opinion really doesn't add any value. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. When it comes to the pricing of games, obviously we're talking about the base price, because people like to bring up, well, what about deluxe editions and collector's editions and all that? I'm like, that's outside of the norm of the base price of and obviously you're getting additional things with that that also accompanies that price increase. The issue, or where I think people would have an issue, or where the conversation kind of starts to become what it is when it comes to this $80 price tag is, and this is a age-old conversation that we've been having since the it's funny, this started really at the start of this generation, because at the start of this generation, once $70 games got introduced, that's when the scrutiny behind content versus dollar amount started to happen, where you had a lot of people looking at the amount of content that was in a game and determining if this was something worth $80, or looking at how the game looked, right? If it wasn't a AAA quality looking game, oftentimes people deemed that it's not being worth the $70 asking price, because it didn't really check off certain boxes that a lot of people expect when it comes to what that asking price is. Now, obviously, every single game is not going to be $80, but when we're talking about $80 games, we're talking about the base standard price, which is where I think a lot of people start to have that issue of, well, this is $80. What am I getting for that extra 10? Now, obviously, we can get into the business side, or excuse me, not the business side, the economic side, the economic side of, like, inflation, and how the prices of games should have gone up exponentially over the years to where at $100 or whatever the case may be. Like, there's conversations to be had about that. Obviously there's conversations to be had about value, right? Because really, when you think about value, right, when everybody thinks about value, right, like everybody in the chat right now, just think about value and what you value, right? The old saying of one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? That's something that still rings true to this day, even within the gaming space. Now, I'm not calling games trash. I'm just using the saying, or that analogy, to point to why value is a subjective thing, right? Value is not ever going to be a black and white thing, because people value different things. People value things differently, right? Now, obviously, there is going to be a consensus, or there's going to be a subset of people who will look at the price increase and say, regardless of what the game is, it should not be 80 because XYZ, right? Now, obviously, people like to use the argument of, well, little Timmy and little Sally can't eat, so the fact that they can't eat is wrong, and the game shouldn't be, it's all these different things. Now, obviously, we know, and shout out to Sean Layden, right? Sean Layden has been on WUPS a number of times. He's done a lot of interviews. He's been talking about this since he's left PlayStation. But obviously, the ballooning cost of development within the AAA space is also what's pushing this, right? The idea of having smaller games be made is, you know, I that's something I definitely think could happen, and I think we're seeing that to some degree. But value, when it comes to this, is all going to be determined on how you see it, right? If what's the game? You know, GTA 6 is a perfect. You know what? Mario Kart World is a perfect example. How many of you are buying, or how many people are going to buy Mario Kart World at the $80 asking price and be fine with that, or just, you know, be cool with that? And on the other side, because I truly think GTA 6 is going to release at $100 base. I said that like a couple months ago. GTA 6 is absolutely going to be $100 base. Like I believe that in my heart of hearts. I'm willing to bet the farm on that. It's going to be $100 base at least. How many people are going to buy that? Are you going to buy that? I'm going to buy it. Are you going to buy it? A lot of people are going to buy that even at that $100 asking price. You feel me? This goes back to the concept of value, right? And I'm not trying to make this argument of like, oh, well, you know, games should just keep being more and more and more and more and more, and people just keep shelling out money. No, because there's going to be a lot of people that will look at that and say, I don't view that as being worth the price. And that's the risk that publishers, developers, and the game industry risk when it comes to consumers, because you already have consumers who do not want to. You already have a growing number of people who do not want to buy games, right? Or not buy games day one, don't want to pre-order games, right? And I'm talking the games that they love, like, because there's always this weird misconception, you know, where a lot of people like to misconstrue my words when I say support the developers or buy, you know, you should buy your games, right? I'm saying the games that you love, the games that you enjoy. I'll do Clay Obscure Expedition 33 as a perfect. It's probably it's funny that all of this is coming to head right now. Pause, because Clay Obscure Expedition 33 is actually a great example. It's an age-old example, right? This is a game we saw last year funny enough, at an Xbox showcase, or was it at Summer Game Fest or at a Keighley show? I don't remember if it was a Keighley show or Xbox show, but I remember seeing this initially, and I fell in love with the game, right? It's been one of my most anticipated games ever since, right? Love the game, excited for the game, love the turn-based style, the action, the art, you know, all the bells. I enjoy it. I pre-ordered the game. I bought the game. That's a game that I support and I loved, right? We have this is something, again, that's been happening in the community for a long time, where you have people where, you know, they say they love this game, they want this game, they want more of this, but they won't buy it. When I say buy your games or support the games, I'm saying support the games that you love, right? And that's always been my stance. That's always been my sentiment, and that's not going to change. That's never going to change, right? I do think you should buy your games, and again, buy the games that you love, to buy the games that you find joy in or want to support. That's always been my stance. But when it comes to the community and gaming now, a lot of people it's like aren't buying as many games. So when you get price increases like this, it pushes more people away from wanting to buy games, which hurts the industry more. That's something that developers, publishers in the industry, they have to figure that out. That's something that they have to do, right? But again, there are certain aspects where the rules do not apply. Mario Kart Worlds is a great example. GTA 6 is going to be a great example. And whatever other game where those rules can be bent or even broken, where they do not apply. That's just how this shit works and how this shit moves within the industry. But $80 games, that's going to push more people away from wanting to buy games. That's the repercussion. That's the consequence of it all. And especially when you have services like, Game Pass and all these other services where, games are going into their day and date to some degree. You get certain people that then become indoctrinated, and they look at something where they have to spend more than what the asking price is of the subscription service and say, well, I don't deem that as worth it. It should be day one in Game Pass, or it should be in a subscription service, or it should be this and that, or whatever the case may be, right? That's where we end up. But it's clear that the industry is moving to $80 games. So you have to ask yourself this question, right? because I can't answer this question for you. I can't make this decision for you. Nobody can. It's up to you, the gamer, up to you, the consumer, to determine what do you view as value and valuable? What do you view as worth the asking price? That is a conversation that I think a lot of gamers, a lot of consumers are going to be having much more now when it comes to gaming, with the increase of $80 games. That's just what's going to happen, because it's been happening since the start of this generation, and now moving into the $80 game territory, that is going to get amplified even more. And you couple that with the price increase of hardware, different hardware, right, from Xbox, the price of the Switch 2, right, that even though that's not really affected by tariffs per se, it's still, you're still looking at over $400 Switch 2 that's coming out. You're looking at the $700 PS5 Pro, $450, $500 PS5, right? That will potentially go up in price due to tariffs or something like that to some degree. So you're looking at what, maybe an $800 Pro and a $600 PS5, right? The conversation around pricing is going to get so amplified, and it's going to get scrutinized so much now, it's going to be insufferable. And so you, the gamer, you, the consumer, you have to ask yourself, what do I deem as worth it now? And whatever you decide, that's your decision. It's that simple. Whatever you decide as being worth the asking price is the decision you have to make, be fine with. If a game comes out, you see it and you say, I'm not really feeling that, or I don't really see that as being worth the asking price, that's your decision. And the industry, the developer, the publisher, they're going to have to eat that loss. What does that mean? Less games being bought? Who knows? But this is the landscape of gaming right now. This is the landscape of the industry, and it to a degree it sucks, because obviously a lot of this stuff and the game prices thing, it's funny because I think the game prices thing is that's a separate thing entirely. I don't necessarily think that's tied, even though like obviously games being made, like when you press the game on the disc and all this other shit, obviously that's being made in other countries, and import and all that. So I think that might play somewhat of a part in it. But I personally think that the $79.99 price tag, that's a separate thing. I just think that's the industry course correcting and trying to just increase that to get more out of rising cost and AAA and this, that, no. It's a lot of variables with that. I don't think the $79.99 thing is as cut and dry. But I think when it comes to the price increases of the hardware, tariffs and all that stuff that's going on. And listen, from PlayStation's perspective as well. Listen, PlayStation, I know you listen to PlayStation. I know you listen to Whoops, and you listen to me and Barry. I know. Trust me. It's cool. It'll be our secret, but I know you guys listen. Anyway, if I was PlayStation, I think you should ride the storm the rest of this year. If there is ample stock in stores, right? If you do have GTA 6 marketing and you do a bundle with the console, obviously the price is going to be higher with that. Eat a little bit of that cost too, maybe, right? Who knows, right? But if I was PlayStation, I would try to ride that storm out as much as you can this year, because I can guarantee you going into the holiday this year. And listen, and I don't want to get too into the politics and all this other shit, but just for the sake of this conversation, I will touch on this briefly. The economy and people losing their jobs, job security, the middle class, and all these stocks and the tariffs and the rising cost of like food and all this other shit that's going on, right? Going into the holiday, the holiday might not be as Christmassy for a lot of people this year because of the landscape of the economy and how things are going. We may very well be moving into a recession and all these other different things by Christmas time. You feel me? So obviously those are things to think about from a real world perspective, but you know, keeping it back in within the realm of gaming. Yo, Sick, what's good, man? LOL. Yo, Sick, you funny, bro. Going into the realm of keeping it within the realm of gaming, you know, I do think that a lot of people, if PlayStation is able to weather the storm the rest of this year, I think holiday time is definitely going to be kind of crazy for Microsoft, from a console, from a hardware perspective. I think it's gonna be bad. Yo, GTA PS5 Pro bundle 800. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Real talk, I wouldn't be surprised. Mass produced, yeah, I think so. $800, or maybe $79.90, 70, you know, $750, $9.99 or some shit like that. They might eat that cost, even though, although I don't think they will. At least not to that degree. If GTA does release at a base price of $100, I don't see them eating that cost too much. But you know, guys, when it rains, it pours. And so the other thing, because people are like, you know, these subscription services, right? That price going up too. So if you like the GameFly shit, hey man, listen, when it rains and pours and shit rolls downhill, you hear what I say? So GameFly prices is going up as well. Where, you know, 3-month introductory for one game is going to be starting at $13.50. 3-month introductory for 2 games, $18.50. 3-month introductory elite for 2 games in a movie is now $23 a month, right? One disc plan is $19.95. 2 disc plan for 2 games in a movie is $27.95 a month. Like, yo, the prices is going up. Yo, this shit is crazy. We offer elite membership 7 days. $50 a month, almost $50 a month for a 4-disc plan. So people that do GameFly and trying to, like, you know, rent games and all that shit, that price is going up too. Now, is it as high as paying $80 for one game? No, but you're also looking at the rising costs in the subscription. And listen, subscription service. Here's the other thing too, because people, I see people say, "Oh, well, Game Pass." Yeah, absolutely. But you still need to be in the highest tier or one of the higher tiers of Game Pass to even receive the full benefits of day and date, right? And I think it's the ultimate. Somebody keep me honest in the chat with that. But the other thing is that what that is, you don't think those prices are also going to go up? Listen, and Microsoft, it would have been suicide if Microsoft would have announced that Game Pass price at the same time as all this. That would have been insane. But trust what I tell you, that price increase for Game Pass is coming as well. Probably not this year, or probably like closer to the end of this year. I think it's going to happen like closer to the end of this year, or like before the holiday. That price increase, yo, listen. That Game Pass price increase is coming as well. Believe what I tell you. And listen, because this is why I hate having these conversations, because people always, what about Persona? What about PlayStation? What about PlayStation Persona? Wait, you think it's gonna be a price increase? Yes, I do. Yes, there's gonna be a price increase across the board. Yes, but we're talking about Xbox right now. So sticking on the conversation of Xbox, yo, that Game Pass price increase is going up. That shit is but. That price increase, I'm telling you, they didn't do it today because that would have been absolutely suicide. That'd have been crazy. That would have been suicide to announce that on top of all this. No. That PR team was like, nah. Eat that Game Pass increase for a couple more months. Let's let them digest this first. Then we'll bring the, but believe what I tell you, that Game Pass price increase is coming. Oh, trust and believe that Game Pass price increase is coming. It's coming. And listen, yes, PS Plus price increase is coming. All that's coming as well. But we're talking about Xbox right now, so let's stick on conversation Xbox. That Game Pass price increase is coming. Trust me. Oh yeah. And listen, I've been saying this for years. Hold on, let me take a drink. I've been saying this for years. Where I've been saying, especially during the ABK deal, where I said, a lot of because Microsoft is still, here's the thing that people don't realize too. I don't think people really understand the magnitude, the sheer size and magnitude of a deal such as ABK that Microsoft undertook. I don't think people truly understand the $70 billion. That is a insurmountable amount of money. You understand? That is something that Microsoft is still trying to recoup as well. That they're still recovering from that too. That coupled with all these games and all these things and this and that, right? And here's the thing that people love to say, and they've been saying this for years, and I keep telling people, I don't know why you people keep using this argument or keep using this and saying this stupid shit where they'll say, oh, well, Microsoft's a $1 trillion company, so they'll eat the cost. Remember when people were saying that, ladies and gentlemen? Do y'all remember that? You remember when people were going around, you had journalists and media and influencers, well, Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. And so because they're a $1 trillion company, Microsoft will be able to kind of eat those costs because, they make so much money from other areas. So even if Xbox is not making Microsoft a whole lot of money, they'll be able to eat those costs because, and they'll be able to eat the cost with Game Pass because, Game Pass, they're a $1 trillion company. So they make the money. They really make all their money from the cloud, and they make the money from Azure. And they make money. They were using all this other stupid shit of like, oh, well, they're a $1 trillion company. You're a $1 trillion company. See? And I kept, and when people kept saying it, I'm kind of like, why do you people keep saying that and using that? That's not a good argument. Because how does one become a $1 trillion company? By making money. How does one stay a $1 trillion company? By making money. Well, they're going to, I speak to Phil. You understand? I'm in the room with Phil Spencer. I'm in the room with Sarah Bond. I'm in a room with Matt Booty, Aaron Greenberg, and Satya Nadella, and I talk to, I'm in the room with these guys, right? So when I'm in the room with these guys, I let them know the gamer, they don't want these high prices. You understand? I'm in the room with these guys. I'm in the room with Phil Spencer. I have him on speed dial. I can speed dial him right. Phil Spencer? Yeah, I'm on it. Can you just let them know that Phil Spencer's a nice guy. I love Sarah Bond. You understand? I talk to these people. And they understand us. Trust me, I am speaking on behalf of you, the gamer, and I'm trying to let you know that I'm letting you know that I talk to them. I'm in the room with these guys. You understand? I have access to these people. And I'm letting you know that I spoke to Sarah. I spoke to Matt. I spoke to Phil. Yes, we're on a first name basis. I've talked to them, and they've let me know, they've reassured me that they've got the gamer's best interest at heart. Yes, that's what Aaron Greenberg, I spoke with him. We went and got a pizza, and he let me go that this is how we're going to. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, bro, this is a $1 trillion company. How do you stay a $1 trillion company? By making money. So I never understood this argument that people would use Microsoft's a $1 trillion company, so, they'll be able to eat the cost. How long do you think a company like that is going to eat the cost before they start seeing that they're losing more money and they're supposed to be making more money? Because when Satya comes and looks at the books, when the finance team come and looks at the books and they look at the money, they're not thinking, oh, well, I did speak to that one journalist or that one influencer. We did have dinner, and, I've got to keep the gamer's best interest at heart because, they don't care about none of that shit. They care about making sure that they stay in the green all the time. And what does that mean? Passing the cost on to the consumer. This is an age-old thing in business. But, Microsoft's a $1 trillion company. And so because they're a $1 trillion company, I just think that... Which brings me to my next point. Sorry, Ryan, we got to bring you to the front of the congregation. Because it's the age-old thing. It's the same line. $599 for a 5-year-old Xbox Series S. Tariffs or not, it's pure insanity. Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. With a razor-blade business, they'll get zero sympathy from anyone. Again, it doesn't matter if they're trillion. And listen, I think this shit is crazy. It's wrong across the board. My PlayStation's not absolved of it, right? Nobody's absolved of this, and it's wrong. I'm not arguing that this is good or no. I'm not arguing in favor of none of this. It's wrong. It's fucked up. Tariffs, politics, blah blah blah. Like, we don't know that. But I need you guys to stop using the line of they are a $1 trillion company. Who cares? That doesn't mean anything and never meant anything. And people have been using that argument for years. Years. They were using the argument, well, Microsoft's going to crush PlayStation because they're a $1 trillion company. So they're able to ride the cost more than PlayStation because PlayStation is only worth $200 billion and Microsoft's a $1 trillion company. So they'll be able to outlast PlayStation because they're $1 trillion. And I'm just sitting there looking like, do you understand how like business is how that works? I need you guys to stop using this line here. Please, for the love of God, I'm begging you, please stop using this line. Please, I beg you, please, because it means nothing. It didn't mean nothing 10 years ago, and it doesn't mean anything now. Please stop. Oh, in the great words of MJ, if I got it. Do I have it? No, I don't. I don't have it. I don't got the MJ sound. Never mind. Damn, I had it set up too. I had it set up.
Cut the cap.
All right, we'll use that one. Cut the cap.
Cut the cap.
Cut the goddamn cap. You understand what I'm saying? Please stop. Please cut the cap. Please stop. It doesn't matter if they are $1 trillion company or not. And you guys need to stop using that argument and stop using that line, because it really does make you look foolish, because even and it's always coupled with something that really doesn't realistically make sense. Like, oh, Microsoft's $1 trillion company, so they'll be able to eat the cost. Theoretically, you're correct, right? Like, theoretically, you are correct, right? That's not a wrong statement to say, because obviously they have ample amount of money or capital or whatever that they theoretically could eat the cost. That's not the argument, though. My argument is more so, stop saying that, because you're not understanding how they got there to that $1 trillion. It wasn't by eating cost. How do you become $1 trillion company? It's not by eating cost. So using that to say, well, they can eat the cost because they're $1 trillion. Well, how did they stay $1 trillion? If they eat the cost, they lose out on being $1 trillion company. You won't be able to use that line anymore. I'm just a messenger, but you know, they don't like the messenger, so oh well. I'm just a messenger, though. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing the message along. Ain't no company eating the cost of passing that. Yo, listen. Clearly, no company is, especially $1 trillion company. Look at all this money that's going. Look at all the money that's going up with the tariffs and all this bullshit, with the cost of these consoles and everything. Hell no, they eat no cost. The $80 games and all that. Hell no, they ain't eating no cost, man. Ain't nobody eating no cost, man. That's not happening. That's not happening, man. And again, I'm gonna say it again. PlayStation is not absolved of none of this. You feel me? PlayStation as well. You know, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You know, I think PlayStation is definitely going to probably follow suit with something like this. When, who knows? But it's definitely going to happen. And what do you do outside of that once that's done? You feel me? Crazy. But gaming, in my opinion, gaming is becoming much, much more expensive. It's definitely something where I think a lot of people nowadays are definitely going to be picking and choosing. They definitely gonna be picking and choosing like what they spend their money on, like even more. Like the scrutiny that's gonna come with gaming now is really gonna be it's gonna be on another level. Like real talk, it's gonna be on another level, man. That scrutiny is about to be amplified something crazy, because now you're gonna have, you know, if a game releases at 80 out the gate, you know, you're gonna have a lot of people, especially a lot of journalists and articles, that it's gonna start coming out and saying, oh yeah, you know, this is releasing at $80. Is it worth it? You know, now the reviews, and this was already happening in reviews, but now that's going to get amplified even more, where, you know, reviewers are now going to be factoring in the price of the game in their review score. You know, where like, oh, you know, with what I played and how I experienced it, I don't think this is worth $80. You know, for the $80 asking price, I think you should wait for a sale. Like all that, like that's going to happen even more, and that's going to hurt gaming even further, because we already know how much a lot of people depend on reviews now. You know, like they depend on reviews to buy on what games they should buy and shouldn't buy or whatever. We already know that's a big practice. That's a big business. So looking at the price increase even further to 80, the scrutiny behind that, especially with reviews and articles and all these other different things, it's going to get worse. It's going to get much, much worse. And my fear is a good game will lose out on being experienced because of its price. It could be a great game. Somebody won't buy it just off the strength of the price, which hurts the developer, which hurts gaming even more, which kills off another studio potentially, which, you know, means that the same slop keeps getting put out, and, you know, great ideas and things like that don't come out. And again, every game doesn't need to be $80, and every game shouldn't be $80, right? Clay Obscura Expedition 33 is a great example of that, right? It's a great game. I love the hell out this game. It's addictive, great gameplay, great story, looks beautiful. It's a $60 game, right? If you bought the deluxe edition, it's $60. Base version is $50. This game is in my top 3. Like right now, obviously I need to beat it, pause. But as of right now, this is sitting comfortably in my like top 5 games of the year so far. Clay Expedition 33. $50 game, base price, right? So the price of a game, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope because oh no, am I buffering? Are we good? Are we good, guys? Can y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all see me? If it's not buffering for y'all, put a 1 in the chat. Are we back? We good? All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I got Fios internet. Yo, listen. Stop playing with me, Fios. I got Fios fiber optic internet. You understand? That means that my internet, I get the internet by lights. All right? Not by electromagnetic currents flowing through copper wire. My internet comes through by lights. Stop playing with me. But anyway, you know, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. I definitely lost my train of thought just now. What was I saying? Wipeout detected. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, when it comes to, you know, the price, you know, it's Clay Expedition 33. There is, you know, I would have gladly paid 70 for that, right? I put that out on Twitter, hands down, right? But they released at 50. It's a great game, right? If that would have released at 80, would I still bought it? Yeah, I would have, right? And this goes back to the conversation of value, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure. I hate to use that saying, but just to drive the point home, value, right? Now, somebody else might have seen Clay Expedition 33, seen the price. Well, that shit loud as hell in my ear. They see the price and they be like, nah, I'm not buying that. And they miss out on a great game. That's where my argument is going when it comes to these price increases and to everything that's happening. Great games being missed out on because of the price, because of the scrutiny that comes with the price. Most people are going to look at the price first before they look at the game. That's just the landscape of where we at in gaming right now. It sucks to say that, but that's where we are. The landscape of gaming is look at price first before you look at game. Straight up. That's where we at. Yo, Cobb, what's good, man? Appreciate you for the super chat. He says, Xbox trying to take that stream down. Yo, for real, man. They trying to stop me. They ain't gonna stop me, though. Yo, Bats, man. Oh, my fault. Yo, shout out to my boy Bats, man. I appreciate you for a super chat. Bats said, Christmas is gonna be rough this year for people trying to buy consoles. Yeah, it really is. And a shout out to Barry, man. 48 months as a member on the channel. Who buying an Xbox for $730 this holiday to play GTA 6? Confess. Yeah, yo, listen. Nah. Even if you was an Xbox fan, I wouldn't even recommend that. That's crazy. Get you a pro. Nasty work. Nasty work. But listen. At the end of the day, guys, let me drive my point home here before we get up out of here. At the end of the day, guys, the what's happening, and I'm gonna reiterate all of this. What's happening within gaming, what's happening within the industry, the politics behind it with tariffs and everything else, it sucks, right? Because it means more money that you have to shell out for a hobby that we all love and enjoy, right? You know, gaming is obviously already an expensive hobby, right? The fact that it's getting even more expensive due to, real world things that's happening that's really out of a lot of people's control. It sucks to see. But looking at the landscape of gaming now, I see things like this hurting gaming going forward even more than what it is now, right? Because like I said, people aren't buying games as much now. Now you'll probably have that scrutiny happening even more going forward. Once $80 games do become the norm and become a status quo, what it is, it's gonna, this is going to hurt gaming a lot. The price increase, the tariffs, all that, it's gonna hurt gaming a lot. So you have to ask yourself this question, and I'll end it with this. You have to ask yourself this question: how do you perceive value? Regardless if it's PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, that's the question you have to ask yourself. How do you perceive value? Whatever answer you come up with that, that's your philosophy going forward. Are you only going to buy certain games if it checks this many amount of boxes? Are you only going to wait for a sale when it comes to games? Are you not going to buy? Are you going to leave gaming altogether? Who knows, right? But the concept of value is something that you yourself are going to have to come to terms with and decide what that looks like for you going forward. That's it. What is the concept of value? For me, if the game, y'all know me, man. If a game look interesting, I'm picking it up. If a game has my attention, if I'm excited, whatever, I'm picking it up. That's just how I move. Like, but I perceive value differently than you, right? We all aren't going to move to the same beat of a drum, to the same beat of a drum. So what that value looks like for you, that's how you have to move going forward. That's it. That's really it. But this is the world right now that we in, guys. This is how shit is moving. It sucks. I do hope you guys, I would tell y'all this, man. Get your consoles now, man. Don't wait. If you somebody that's looking to get a new console, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever you trying to get, like, I ain't even trying to push you to one or the other. Get your console now. I mean, I think in the Xbox case, you might want listen, get your console now, man, because these prices are about to get crazy. They about to get crazy. But with that being said, I do appreciate everybody coming. This wasn't going to be like a super long show, but I definitely wanted to put my thoughts out there and, speak on this real quick and, just speak on what's going on with gaming. It fired me up. I was like, oh, shit, I definitely want to talk about this and put my thoughts out there and whatnot, right? So at the end of the day, PlayStation is not absolved of this, right? I do think PlayStation, something like this will happen with PlayStation to some degree at some point. When, who knows? But I think, anybody that's like walking around saying, oh yeah, this ain't gonna happen at PlayStation, about, like, listen, crack your jokes. Like, we all gonna crack jokes and have a laugh, right? But to say that this can't happen or won't happen to PlayStation, I think is very foolish, right? And your boy Persona don't want y'all out here looking foolish. So have your fun, crack your jokes, but best believe this is not something. PlayStation is not absolved of such a fate. So please move accordingly with that. And with that being said, man, I really do appreciate everybody coming through, man. Round of applause for the folks in the chat. CPH, what up, man? Appreciate you for the super chat. They said Phil is one of us. Yeah, I don't know why people was thinking that. Let's knock that shit off, man. Phil Spencer is a businessman at first, and he needs to run a successful business before anything. And that goes, listen, the same thing goes for PlayStation as well. Like the stuff that people say about Phil, and the same thing go for Herman Host, Nishino, Hideki Nishino. Hiroki Totoki. Like, listen, these people got to run a successful business, so they're gonna do what's best for the business. I know that these people ain't my friends. These people. I know that they need to create a product or provide a service that will bring in money. That's their job. That's to keep the business healthy, thriving, and growing. That's their job, man. I can't be mad at that because you're a businessman first. You got to run a successful business first. Okay? But at the same time, people can still feel how they feel about the situation. I don't think anybody is wrong for feeling how they feel about the situation at all. But again, it goes back to what I started the show talking about. How you perceive value. Because in this community, you typically get people where it's wrong for one, but okay for another. Ergo, Mario Kart Worlds, most likely GTA 6, right? Call of Duty. Oh yeah. Call of Duty. Hold up. Let me bring that up real quick. That's what I forgot. Real quick. Shout out to Charlie Intel. Because Call of Duty is a perfect example. Right? You think Call of Duty not about to release at $80? Base? Put some extra lisp on that. Base? You think Call of Duty not releasing $80 base? Now, do you think people are going to accept that? Yes, they will. But it goes back to how you perceive value. Now, can a single player only title, like, what's coming out? I'm trying to think of a game. Let's say Borderlands. Well, no, that's multiplayer. Let's say Mafia Old Country, right? Mafia Old Country comes out in June. That released at 80. Base. Basse. You think that's gonna bode well? Goes back to how you perceive value. Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. If that releases at 80 base, which honestly I got a feeling that shit gonna release it. Because by the time that releases in 2026 or 2027, whenever, I think that $80 price tag of games is gonna start becoming more and more prevalent, and it's gonna start growing a little bit more and more and more, whatever. So I could definitely see Intergalactic being base $80, 100%. There's not a shadow of doubt in my mind that could release base $80. Not a shadow of doubt. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you, Intergalactic Heretic Prophet, I'm already buying the collector's edition in the Ultimate Edition anyway. But even if I was buying the base version, I'm there day one. I'm not missing no Intergalactic Heretic Prophet. GTA 6, I'm there day one. Games that I'm anticipating, I'm there day one. But that's me. Everybody not going to be like me. And this goes back to what I'm saying about this community. Everybody's going to move differently, and the scrutiny is going to grow even more. But developers, publishers, and whomever else, they're going to have to be the ones to deal with that. That's it. That's it. But listen, another round of applause for the folks in the chat. Listen, oh no, I'm not buying no $80 card. I'm good on that. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think I'm done with, like, I think I've moved on from Call of Duty. Like, I think, and not because of the price tag. I just think because COD just isn't what it used to be anymore for me, man. Like, I just don't get that same. Like, I used to play COD all year round, man. Year round, I would play COD. Like, COD Sundays, COD weekend. Like, I don't have that itch to play COD no more, man. Normally, I would have that itch throughout the year where I would play. COD was always a game for me that I would play all year. All year. Bro, I haven't touched COD. Yo, real talk. I haven't touched COD since November. When did the last time I think I did stream COD? Probably around Christmas time. So it might have been December. The last time I touched COD. Persona, we've heard this from you before. Yo, Wolf, come on, man. Cut me some. I mean it this time, though, man. Like, I ain't play COD in months, yo. I haven't touched Call of Duty. And I don't have a itch to touch COD. Nah, I'm good on Battlefield. Battlefield garbage. I don't fuck with Battlefield, man. I'm good. I need structure. I need structure when it comes to my shooters. I ain't playing that dog shit Battlefield. I'm good. Y'all keep that. I'm good on that, man. But even Call of Duty this year, as of right now, I'm not really, I mean, if I see it, it look cool, I'll try the beta, but buying it and all that, nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna speak that into that absolutes. You feel me? But yo, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. All right, I hope y'all, another round of applause for the folks in the chat. I was trying to grind Black Ops tribute event earlier and I couldn't finish it. I'm burnt out and more interested in Unleashed Recompiled. Yo, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of other great, awesome games that are coming out that I don't really want to sink no time into no Call of Duty, man. There's Doom, Dark Ages. I'm playing Claire Obscura, Expedition 33. Lost Solar Side, Metal Gear, Mafia, Old Country, Ghost of Yotei, GTA 6. Borderlands 4, I'm gonna pick that up. Me and Barrio play that. It's just too many other games releasing that I'm good on. I don't want to waste no time on no COD, man. I'm good, man. I'm good on that. But yo, listen, this Saturday, What's Up PlayStation podcast with me and Barry, episode 193. Yes, 193. So don't miss that, man. We definitely gonna, me and Barry definitely gonna talk about this from a PlayStation perspective, obviously, and just give our thoughts as a collective and whatnot. So hopefully I'll see you guys this Saturday on What's Up PlayStation podcast. Again, I thank everybody for coming through to the show. I hope you enjoyed this episode of One Persona Speaks. Impromptu show, right? I hope you guys were entertained. Hopefully I could get you through your workday, get you through, whatever you guys is doing this evening. Be safe with whatever you are doing, wherever you are in the world. If it's morning, nighttime, evening, daytime, afternoon, whatever. Be safe. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys next time, man. It's been your boy Persona, and I'm out, guys.